Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be looking at some posts from r/TrueOffMyChest. I kind of think that these posts can actually get even crazier than the Am I the Butthole or Best of Redditor updates. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, stick around and enjoy. Okay, so first post of the day, my wife is insane, and it made us 185k. That's nuts already, okay? So, I posted earlier about how much I love my wife, and I truly cannot emphasize that enough. My wife is such an amazing person, and she has had to overcome so much crazy shite in her life. The most heartbreaking thing anyone has ever said to me was when she once told me, "You are the only man in my life I have ever felt safe with." Aww. Anyway, when my wife and I first met, we fell in love so fast it was crazy. But only 3 months after meeting, she came to me with an insane proposal. We had been discussing moving in together, and rather than renting a place, she asked me to buy a house with her. Yeah, that is a bit insane after 3 months. I was 23, just starting my career, and I wasn't even thinking about buying a house, but she was so passionate about it. She apparently had been looking constantly at the market, and she had found this foreclosed starter home, but couldn't quite afford it on her own. We had literally been together 3 months, and in most contexts, this would just have been a terrible and insane thing to do. But I was so in love with her, and she explained what a good investment it was so convincingly that I agreed. I put down 8k, she put down 12k, and we bought this place for 200k together. We got married 9 months after buying it and had our first kid 12 months after buying it. You guys just go at lightning speed, hey? This is nuts. Normally, I would say this is a terrible idea for anyone to go and do. Don't rush into things like this. It quite often does not work out well. So whatever the outcome of this post is, considering he says, oh, he loves his wife for her insanity and blah, 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 don't replicate it. Because for most people, these things wouldn't work out. Don't do it. Okay. Not only was this our first home, we had many happy memories there, but we used it as a rental after getting a slightly bigger home, and it pretty much was what enabled us to afford childcare comfortably. We just sold it for 385k, 185k more than what we paid for it. It is entirely because of my wife that we did this. She is just effing awesome, and it's wild. My goodness, was that a gamble? That could have gone so wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm very glad it didn't. But again, don't replicate this. Normally, people rushing into things this fast does not work out well, but I'm very, very happy it worked out well for the OP. And in the comments, I can't read that username. I'm not gonna lie. I know I'm gonna pronounce it all kinds of wrong. I'm not gonna do it. They said, I love reading posts of people who love their partner so much it reads like cute aggression on the post. Happy to have you both in the club. I'm obsessed with my wife too. Haha. And then Pygmy replies, my girl and I never married, but I did create a brand new last name when daughter was born. 20 years says more than a piece of paper. Also, I met her in a tent. I would kind of actually like to know the backstory on that one, to be honest. And then the original commenter replied, I love that. Did you combine your last names? And Pygmy says, nope. An unrelated, good-looking four-letter word. Given our names are also 4 letters and we're artist, designer types, also, daughter's middle name is cool, because why not? I mean, I suppose, why not? Okay, so this next post says, I gaslight my husband when we fight. Yikes. I don't like that as a title at all. This isn't anything crazy, just something funny that I wanted to tell people about but can't risk getting caught. My husband 30M and I 30F have been together 8 years. For the past couple of years, I make him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day to take to work. I use Welch's Grape Concord jelly. This is important for later. Every day he tells me that I make the best sandwiches and I just say, I make it with love. However, when we're fighting, he always says he can taste the difference in his PB&J. And I say, it's because I made it with hate. I love the pettiness there. But the truth is, he can taste the hate in his sandwich because when we fight, I use organic sugar-free grape jam. It's so petty. I love it. It's in the back of the fridge and he's never seen it. So when I use it, I convince him that he can't make me mad or angry because it makes the food taste different. Like I said, This wasn't anything crazy, but it's something I always get a giggle out of, and I thought that you would too. That's hilarious. Going into this post, I thought, oh god, this is going to be awful. Like, the word gaslighting is a pretty harsh word, isn't it? So I thought this was going to be absolutely terrible, but I actually think it's kind of funny. And down in the comments, someone replies, "You do make it with hate." And then Sean Badoni says, "Honestly, ha ha ha, she really does." And then Quad Eret Est says, "Technically, she's not lying. She is being artfully misleading, and he's not really trying hard enough to figure it out. Or he has and hasn't mentioned it." And then Talk to Me 0701 says, "Yes, this poor sap trusts his wife. I think he'll be laughing his head off when she explained it's not lying. It's artfully misleading. I Reddit thought she was hilarious. Lol." Man, we sell love so cheap. To be fair, I think this is the most harmless way of just being like, oh, you've annoyed me and I'm going to get my own back. It's literally just changing the brand of jam. It's not that serious. And I think it probably gives the OP a little bit of a sense of, oh, I've got my own back now. I feel better. And no one gets hurt. They really don't. So yeah, I think this is actually quite funny. Next up, my husband doesn't know I'm about to divorce him. This has been my plan for 6 years. This is by far the craziest thing I've done, and I can't believe I've suffered all these years staying with this man just so I can survive financially. Wow, that is playing the long game, and I'm sure to the detriment of your own mental health. So hopefully this goes well. The start of our marriage was wonderful. We had 2 babies. After the second pregnancy, he cheated on me with a very close family member. He gave me a lazy apology, and on top of that, he complained about my body. He also told me I was built like a refrigerator. What an absolute butthole he is. Mind you, I was 4 months postpartum at the time. I secretly saw a family lawyer. To sum it up for you, I would be screwed leaving him. We only had 25k, and that being split up is basically nothing for me. No Marshall properties, no car, I didn't have a job, literally nothing. I was a stay-at-home mum. I applied for hundreds of jobs during the time and couldn't find employment anywhere, so leaving was a bad decision for me financially speaking, especially with 2 small babies. Also, alimony and child support wasn't going to be enough for me to live off or survive with 2 babies. Oh, yikes. Yeah, very stuck in a tricky situation there, aren't you, really? So, I let him believe that I forgive him, and I continued being his wife. Oh god, I bet that was so hard. I can imagine that was so hard, just pretending to be happy and fine with someone who's done you so dirty. Oh, that must have been awful. The very first time he cheated on me, it was with my cousin. What an asshat this guy is. Then he cheated again. He had a one-night stand with a random girl he met on a night out. I got so mad. I cheated back on him out of anger. Of course, he never found out I cheated. At least I'm smart about it, unlike him. Honestly, I kind of don't blame you, because with your cousin? Like, what? And also, your cousin? What a piece of crap as well. During the time in our marriage, I worked on getting my independence back. My husband paid for my trade school. It was a very expensive program, but he paid for everything. Yeah, and I bet you he thought him paying for that was going to be keeping you sweet, keeping you where he wanted you, and all along, you're playing this hella long game. I mean, hats off to you, because I could not. I haven't filed for divorce yet. He has no idea of my plans. I'm excited. I finally get to leave him after 6, almost 7 years. Now I can walk away with at least 200k. And we have, so I guess it was marital home and not Marshall home. I was just reading that thinking it might be just some weird thing from overseas that I didn't know what it meant. But I'm assuming it means marital. And we have marital assets now, like the house and the car. He also paid off for me. Now I have my education and my own career. I've been working on my weight loss. I lost 66 pounds. He paid for that thing there. Tirzepatide. I'm going to guess that that's kind of like one of those weight loss jabs. I'm assuming. I think. Hurt my mouth trying to say it. I could tell you that for free. I had a breast reduction and a breast lift. I look amazing. I don't doubt I'll probably get remarried eventually. Everything in my life is finally set and going the right way. Well, I'm really glad, and I'm glad you've had the confidence boost. I'm sure you didn't need it. I am almost certain you did not need to go and have, surgeries and what have you to look great. But if it makes you feel great and it helps you out of this douchebag's arms after 6 and 7 years, then I'm all for it. Go ahead. Edited to add. Laughing at the people mad at me for cheating back on him. What did you expect to happen? I stay loyal to my husband while he Fs other girls? Lol, you guys think I'm going to just go without S for almost a decade? The marriage was already over the first time he cheated on me. Hilarious, you people think on this app. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, who are we to judge when we are not in that position? Pretending to just keep it cool so your kids are stable financially for 6 or 7 years. I applaud that, because he deserves nothing after he went and slept with her own family. Like, what? How can anybody be annoyed at the OP for what she did after that? I mean, is it right? No, of course it's not. We're not stupid. Everyone knows that it's not right to cheat. Do I feel like she almost had a justification? I kind of do, because her head would have been a mess. It was her cousin. For God's sake, she couldn't leave. She was stuck. I do get it in a way. Again, it is not right, but I understand. And I don't think it makes the OP a bad person. I really don't, given the circumstances. Okay, so first comment says, I hope you have a beautiful and gentle life with your children after all of this is over. Wishing you extra sunshine in the early mornings and good health for your family without him. I hope your husband gets whatever he deserves. He sounds truly horrible. Yeah, he sounds like he can't keep his pecker in his trousers, so I kind of hope he gets some sort of venereal disease. It just makes it fall off. Then another commenter says, at the beginning I was ready to start thinking, man, that's really something to stay with someone for so long just to milk more money and assets out of them. But then you mentioned how he cheated on you the first time with your cousin, showed no remorse whatsoever, body shamed you when you were going through the first few months of postpartum, cheated on you again. Honey, you milk that man like a farmer would milk a cow. Milk him for all he's worth. You withstood the storm and now you are the storm. Absolutely. And then someone else commented, damn, you withstood the storm, now you are the storm. Powerful words, internet stranger. Thank you. Very powerful words, and also extraordinarily true. Next post. I might have saved my BFF when we were 14, but I lost her forever because of it. My BFF and I were both 14, and one day she tells me she's leaving next weekend with her boyfriend. I didn't even know she had a boyfriend. She then tells me he's 30. Oh my life. What is with these disgusting middle-aged men? Wow, I say middle-aged. I'm like in my 30s and I don't feel middle-aged. I don't think middle-aged is till like 40, mid-40s. I may be trying to cope with the fact I feel old and haggard right now, but it's close enough. And it still would be disgusting if the bloke was 22 or 20 or like 19. This kid is 14. You dirty grot bag. Go and find someone your own age. In fact, no, just go and check yourself into the closest prison, please. Thank you very much. I told her she needs to tell her parents and not just run away. I waited all week. She didn't tell her parents. Friday night comes and I'm a shaking ball of anxiety. But I tell my parents about this. Oh, I'm so glad you did. I remember when I saw her story on the news one night. She and her boyfriend had made it 2 hours out of town before the cops stopped them. He went to jail. Her calls were monitored by her parents after that to prevent that guy from calling her from the jail, they told me. We didn't speak again until years later when I saw her in a restaurant. We were 25-ish years old now. She was with a grey-haired man that I didn't recognise as any of her immediate family members. Don't tell me it's that guy. Don't tell me it's that guy. I swear to God. Do you know when some people, like, violence isn't the answer, but they need a swift backhand to knock a bit of sense in? I feel this is what needs to happen if this is that guy. She introduced him to me as her boyfriend. I always wondered if it was the same guy. Yeah, I'm wondering that too. I've got a horrible feeling that it might have been. Like, oh, I don't blame her. I don't blame her. She was quite clearly groomed. And some people, once the grooming has occurred, it is something that sticks with them. And that person will have a hold on them forever. But still, come on. Unfortunately, we don't get any word on whether that was that guy or not, which I'm a bit sad about because I would have liked to have known if it was him. Just because, yeah, if it was him, back to prison, he should go, please, and thank you. So, in the comments, you were right to tell people, even if she thought she wanted it, she's too young to consent. That guy was a predator, precisely. Disgusting one. Well, they're all disgusting, but oh god, awful. You helped save your friend from a predator. If your old friend is with the same guy now, oh well, she's an adult now and can do whatever. I still feel like she is being groomed as an adult though. I know we can say, oh well, she's an adult now, but if it's the same guy, it means that she is still stuck firmly in his grasp and she doesn't know any better because he's tricked her and deceived her into feeling that way. But you were definitely in the right. Maybe one day she'll realize you saved her from an undoubtedly horrible situation. And then someone replied, it's tough to see her potentially making the same mistake. But you did what was best for her at that stage, and your instincts were spot on, even if it cost you a friendship. Yeah, exactly. I think the fact that you sacrificed a friendship to actually save your friend from something that you just knew was wrong, it speaks to your intellect to think of that, because yeah, it's when we're that young, it's so easy to look past it and think, oh, but they say I'm great. They say I'm just like one of the best women they've ever met. You ain't a woman, you still sleep with teddies, pack it in. And then another comment says, a young consenting adult choosing an older partner is not the same as a young teen accepting the grooming of a pedo. Sure, the former is still likely problematic and indicative of some unhealthy behaviours on both sides, but we should avoid implying that they're the equivalent. Not trying to be a nitpicky asshat, but I think it's important to say. I disagree. I think when there's big age gaps, like say someone's like 25 and the bloke's like 60, I will go out on a whim here and say I don't think it's good. I think, 10, 11, 12 even years difference, okay, fair enough. But when you're talking like 20 to 30 years difference in age, there is still a power dynamic that is extraordinarily uneven. And again, I have a horrible feeling that this older guy that she was with may have been that same guy. I mean, that might just be being a bit of a conspiracy theorist there and just, being a bit dramatic. But if it is, that's really problematic, because that means that he still has his claws in her from when he groomed her when she was a kid. So he can still manipulate her into doing whatever he wants beyond her better judgment. So I do disagree with that there, to be honest with you. I really do. And on that note, we will leave it there. I told you True Off My Chest can be horrifying and funny. The first couple posts, great. Second post, what? So if you made it to the end of the video, then I appreciate you very, very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find yourself back here, because I do post every single day. Other than that, I hope you have a good day. Hope you enjoy whatever it is you're doing, and goodbye.